Welcome to the Nightside Project. I'm Ethan here with Alex Kirry.
Hey.
We're dedicated to helping you finish your commute happy, and to do that, we've got an awesome Zen headline coming up. You know, sometimes when people are put in super stressful situations, they really come up with some amazing solutions. And that's the case with one man in a refugee camp. We'll tell you his solution to a number of problems, including significant storms, lack of good shelter. He just, and from the most unlikely of places, he pulled this idea. But first, Alex, we're going to tread a little bit over into your realm.
Oh.
You may be familiar with a man named Lavar Ball. He has sons who play basketball. He himself was a professional athlete. This is and his wife, he was an Olympic athlete at least, wasn't he? Or a college athlete?
He was a collegiate athlete.
Anyway, I just know that he
probably dabbled in some sort of called himself professional, but
that's not important. The important thing is he himself was an athlete. His wife was an Olympic athlete, right?
Sure.
And then their children, of course, have become very well known.
And their oldest, Lonzo,
is going to the Lakers.
Well, that's what LeVar wants, and he is a top 5 NBA pick, if not 1 or 2. I mean, he's what his dad never was, in terms of being a high profile athlete. And LeVar is riding his son and the other kids who he assumes is going to be that good too, all the way to the bank, or at least he's trying to. So initially tried to get deals from Nike, Adidas. Can I just set this up for just a second?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Some people don't know who LeVar Ball is.
Tell them about the shoes, then they'll know.
Sometimes people have called him a helicopter dad. Nike rejected him. Adidas said no way because he asked for $1 billion. His brand is Big Baller Brand, BBB, because they're all
the Ball
LeVar
family.
Ball, Lonzo Ball. I'm assuming Libby.
The
other boy is Libby, and the other one is I don't know. Anyway, so they have this BBB, and he was like, Nike, Adidas, whenever you guys are ready to come to the table, our offer is $1 billion if you want my sons to be on your team. And Nike and Adidas laughed and said, no thanks.
Yeah.
And they said this was terrible for basketball, for a dad to basically try to use his sons to leverage that into them being, awesome. So he made they made their own version of his shoe. They came out with the ZO 2, right? The ZO2, like an oxygen or something, whatever. Anyway, they came out and they produced their own shoe, and we've got a picture of it right here. And then he goes on the Colin, so he listed it for $495, $500 for a pair of these shoes that frankly look like, a run-of-the-mill basketball shoe that would cost you maybe $150 to $200 if they had a Nike swoosh on it or an Adidas 3 stripes on it.
Right. So this man, Lavar Ball, goes on a very famous, very well-known sports radio and TV show, The Herd with Colin Cowherd. He has a guest. He has a co-host named Kristine Leahy, who is a woman, and that wound up being...
She reports for Fox Sports and stuff, and so she's been on the show with Colin for a long time.
But the problem is that she was a woman. And this actually, I'm going to play for you right here. I've got the video if you're watching the video version.
It is intense. It was really awkward because LeVar Ball likes Colin Cowherd, and he's the only guy who he'll let him have time basically to ask him these hard questions.
As soon as Kristine Leahy weighs in, holy cow, you got to listen to this.
Yeah, I sold a good amount to me.
Sure.
Like I said, there's different amounts.
How many?
Stay in your lane.
Now, if you see the video, LeVar immediately gets emotional, and his lip starts to curl, and his cheek starts to tremble. Immediately, you stay in your lane.
Yeah, and he goes, and the thing was,
he is immediately angry.
Her part of the studio is behind him. He doesn't even look at her.
He won't look at her.
He does this thing where she's behind him, and then he goes, and he puts his hand kind of in her direction.
I'm going to play some more.
I'm just curious.
I don't even worry about her over there.
Why not?
She scares me to death.
Kind of disrespectful.
She said she scares Lonzo. Lonzo's scared of me. She scares me. That's why I don't look that way. I don't look over there because she scares me. I'm thinking of Saul right now.
I'm just trying.
Leave me alone. I'll tell you, 500 pair.
So that's how many he sold. He's willing to tell that to Colin Cowherd. He still hasn't even looked at Kristine Leahy, who is one of the higher profile broadcasters.
Well, she's a fixture on the show too. She's like the sidekick to Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, she's a reporter. Her job is to probe.
She can report to whoever she wants behind her. I'm talking to you, Colin.
Well, what is your problem with me?
Hey, my problem is you are a hater.
Why am
I would
a hater?
never wear a big baller shirt. But
No, I
good.
didn't
Don't
say
even
that.
talk to big baller.
Here's the problem is that
Still not looking at her.
the
It's
problem
really
is-
awkward because he's looking straight at Colin Cowherd, but addressing her, who's behind him.
And
It's
the
so
problem
weird.
is, at some point in the last few weeks, she said that she'd never wear a big baller brand clothes because they don't market to women; they're only marketing to men, and so she's kind of feeling left out.
I heard you say it. I'm not even worried about
I
it.
said that I wouldn't wear something that
It
as
says
a woman.
big baller. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
With
and
all due
but I-
respect, you're a great reporter, just not reporting on me.
I have a right to say what
You
shirt
have
I
a
would and wouldn't wear.
Uh-oh, welcome to Big Baller Zone.
Well, no,
well,
I think I
she said
actually
baller
was
was
saying it as
offensive.
like a point.
To
No, I didn't
her
say
it is.
no. I
Oh,
didn't
you
say it was
telling on her now.
offensive. I didn't say it was.
This is a kind of a supercut, so we pulled kind of this is kind of the best of the
most
conversation.
offensive part, the most offensive, most sexist parts we
but
pulled.
hold on, because
just the juiciest, most sexist parts we pulled.
they
for you.
come up to the gist of it, really the gist of it here.
Offensive. I just said, if you want to, work with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour to maybe have something that appeals to women.
I thought that was a legit. I mean, I don't have to
Okay.
agree, but I
She's
thought that was a
fine.
pretty
I
good
don't
point.
agree with her. I don't agree
But I
with
thought
her.
it was a good
No,
point.
I'm
It's a good
actually
point
saying it as
because
like a
y'all
point of
friends.
advice.
I'm not friends with her. I don't even see that. I don't even see it.
I wasn't saying it as like I would never wear this.
What's this show
I'm
about
saying-
again? Ain't we talking about shoes? I don't want to talk about all that.
Yeah,
Next.
now suddenly he doesn't want to talk about himself. Yeah.
Well, I think in order to have a successful company, you're going to have women who like your brand.
Yeah, if you have a women's company. But anyways.
Oh, so
Yeah, if you have a women's company. Oh, so women buy from women's companies.
you're not marketing to
We're
women.
talking about Big Baller brand.
Okay,
You know what? He don't need no credibility.
Not a women's company.
Okay, so
not a women's company.
so
but
not
hold
a
on,
women's
a
company.
second.
And look,
I want to
who
show you
cares?
something
If that's
here.
his business model
No,
and it fails, then that's the end
I want
of
to
it,
show you
right?
something here. I want to show you something here, all right?
5, maybe 4 or maybe 500 pair.
I've got the Big Baller
Maybe.
brand website
Yeah.
right here. Big Baller brand. Here you can buy the signature shoe ZO2 and then uh-oh.
Oh,
What's this?
there's a women's tab.
I'm sorry, does this man not know his own company?
Click on it. What do they have?
Stuff for women is fine
Oh.
if you have a women's company. This is the Big Baller brand. I think I got that almost word for word. But now looking on his own website, what do we see here?
I didn't know he had the.
He's got products for women.
I'll say this though. Wait, scroll down. What else do they have for him? It's just those V-neck shirts.
It's just a number of shirts.
Nah, I don't like it.
But hold on
He
a
really
second.
is not marketing to women. That's not.
Well, look
they
at this.
And they're not really marketing to men either because they have one pair of shoes and then the type of flip-flop that you wear when your robe is accidentally not tied all the way and you're going to get the newspaper on a Sunday.
Well, I know what Lavar's doing here because I once
Those are the
did because
grossest flip-flops.
I once did the same thing. I had an online store. Anyone can open this same kind of online store.
Sure.
It's free to do because what happens is you upload your own graphic and then whoever's hosting your store places it over generic t-shirts. So if you look at this, okay, see this right here?
Right.
This is one product. There's their logo. Look, you see those folds there on it?
Right.
If you go back,
They're on the same
folds. This is a photograph of a blue V-neck tee.
Okay. With different
And then
color logos that they have basically just superimposed over the shirt.
This blue neck tee is probably in the inventory, this exact same photo, of every online store that's being hosted here.
Okay.
So, and I once had a store like this. I once had a store exactly like Lavar Balls. Exactly like it. The only difference was I didn't have a pair of shoes I designed, but I had a logo that was put on someone else's t-shirts and then printed by order.
Why didn't you tell me about it?
You order it and then you print it. It was a
really
I think I must have at the time. It was
a really stupid brand.
It was like 7 or 8 years ago.
What was your logo?
It was a political thing. It was these political cartoons. It was these political cartoons.
Okay.
I know you saw.
I probably
back in the
remember.
day.
Okay, so listen.
But I want to go back here.
The real problem with LeVar Ball is, or not problem, I'm intrigued by the guy because, and Colin Cowherd has a little bit of the same sentiment toward him. I mean, he is loud and obnoxious and ridiculous and over the top. Everyone's like, hey, why don't you let your son do his thing? And everyone's like kind of bagging on him for being a helicopter dad. But the reality is this guy really loves his kid. And you know
Sure.
what? And you know what he's done too? And he really believes he is the best. He's the best young man. He's awesome and he's a great athlete on top of all of it. And I love him. He's my son. And they're like, why don't you just back away and let the business settle itself? He's like, I don't want to back away. I'm always his dad. And we're like the best business partners ever. And they're like,
I guess we'll see.
Is that what Lonzo says? And he's like, yeah, ask Lonzo. He won't do any interviews with you right now, though.
No,
and then, but I just think that people are making fun of him for being a helicopter dad. He is present, maybe over present, But the world needs more dads like
You're
LeVar
right.
Ball who overproject and really this is the shoot for the stars, land on the moon type of attitude that some parents don't do.
Here's what I like. I like that he's taking control and that he's given his sons an opportunity to take control of their own image, because athletes don't always get the cut they deserve when they sell products. And sometimes they do. They don't always. I'm thinking specifically about college students.
Yeah.
But the Nike, for example, definitely has the upper hand. But there is one thing, though, where I think that LeVar Ball is a real problem, and I think a medium to long-term threat to his son's career. And it's not a joke. You got to listen here. I'll pull it right up.
Gangster, and I do. And like I said, going back to Whitlock.
Let me move a little bit forward here.
So you disrespect women and people for their weight?
No, that's what you say. I didn't say nothing about no weight.
No, you just said that to me.
Like I told her, I'm not even worried about you right now. Keep in your lane.
Can you look me in the eye?
Like I said, Whitlock, I don't want to look you in the eye. You scare me to death.
Oh.
Like I said.
Compliment.
Thank you.
Yes. You scare
They wouldn't want to work with you anyway because you don't respect women. So.
Right here.
She's after you today.
Oh, I don't respect women, but
just...
I'm the one that's married. I'm good. Well, she can say what she wants. She's trying to put it. I never disrespect women. But I tell you what, if you act like that, guess what? Something's coming to you.
Okay.
I never disrespect women. I love how he offers his marriage as evidence. Look, I'm married, as if no misogynist has ever been married.
Right.
And
So
no
you say
marriage.
long-term problem is him being a misogynist?
Long-term problem is talk like this. Because did you catch what he said there? I'll never disrespect women. But if you act like this,
you got something coming
something's coming your way.
Yeah.
And then, of course, afterwards he said, no, I'm not threatening.
I'm not threatening her. I'm just saying,
and
I can't tell the future if something happens to people who aren't good.
And yes, it's true. His statement was a little bit ambiguous, right? Yes, you couldn't take that statement into a court of law and say, this man threatened me with my life. But since this, she has received real death threats that have had to be taken seriously since this interview. And it's definitely a very, very disturbing kind of power play to make. And I think that I like that he's trying to open doors for his sons, independent of large corporations. But I think for his, he's like the Donald Trump of sports.
So here's the thing is
he's
his
like
offer
the Donald Trump of sports.
You know what? That's a good comparison because you know what he did now. The $1 billion, he's rescinded that offer that wasn't taken, by the way. Mm-hmm. This is a total Donald Trump move. He goes, fine, you know what? If you want me now, it's going to cost you $3 billion.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He upped it.
Well, he's got an online store now.
Nobody bit that. Nobody took that bait, and he goes, you know what? Well, fine. If you want on board Nike or Adidas, it's going to cost you $3 billion. All right. We'll take the break here when we come back. A Zen headline to wash all the misogyny away. Stick around.